Welcome to Sports Scope, the most influential sports talk show in the nation.
What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler, on this cold 17th day of January. I finally got my day job done today. Driving around in the ice here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Still really icy in spots, though, folks. So be careful if you live in this area, okay? Got a lot I want to talk about tonight. Did not get into what I wanted to. I saw the Jerod Mayo story, and I'll tease this. I'm going to be a little bit off the cuff tonight. Those of you who follow the program know how I am. I'll tease it this way, Pickles. If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm going to fire Jerod Mayo in the morning. Tease it that I'm going to fire Jerod Mayo in the morning. I'm going to pay him his money, all of his money that he signed today. I'll tell you why after the break. Stand by. I'll be back here in 49 seconds here on Sports Scope. We'll go over some other things too. Tragedy in the NBA and a big trade in the NBA. So stand by. Be right back. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then. So Instagram, folks, as you see, I'm still learning this Instagram thing. Still haven't got my appeal with Facebook. So I want to thank Olivia for keeping me updated that the page is still up, but I can't broadcast through the page because I'm suspended from Facebook. My guess is somebody didn't like what I had to say. I'm a threat to somebody, Pickles. The show's a threat. There's envious people out here for independent mind thinkers like myself, and they turn me into Facebook. I got people on Facebook, Pickles, that women that are fake, of course, fake accounts, trying to talk to me like they're trying to date me and stuff, but they're really trying to get me to go to a WhatsApp, and they're trying to steal my identity. I turn this stuff into Facebook all the time, and I see, and because they're really somebody in another country, they're trying to, steal my identity. I'm aware of it. I've looked this up. I've read about it. And these people are still on Facebook. But me, I'm trying to push this show, sharing sporting news. And all of a sudden, I'm breaking the rules. Yeah, it's personal. There's envy out there. That's what that's all about. I'm riled up today. Yeah, Pickle says it's hustlers. Okay. That's not what I want to talk about today. All right. Anyways, okay, so today, let me get my notes here. I'm fired up, as you can see. So Jerod Mayo was hired today. The press conference was done today, okay? But he plays the victim card. Jerod Mayo plays the victim before coaching a down in the NFL. He uses words like, he worked for some company called Optum for a few years after his NFL. And he says, it keeps me up with diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's words that opportunist politicians use to play the race card to divide people. I've been saying this for years, okay? So he's the first. Let's get some context here, okay? He was hired last week. The news broke. He was officially hired today. The official press conference, him and Robert Kraft today in front of Boston, and all the news media is there and all that. Former player. I think he was drafted like 2008 to 2015. Really smart guy out of University of Tennessee. Really good player. I never heard him talk before towards today. Got a totally different opinion about him today. All right. But so this guy, so smart that he got a raise. He stayed on. He comes back after 5 years working this other company, and he gets into coaching. His wife tells him, "Hey, you want to go back into coaching? If that's what you really like to do." Long story short, Belichick brings him on. Linebacker coach really likes him as a player. Really liked him as an assistant coach. Works out some kind of deal or play agreement. We're having trouble streaming on NESSP. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know about that, but I'll remove it. Okay. All right. Anyways, boy, I've had so many problems tonight. Anyway, but anyway, a lot of forces working against me. All right. So I think that was a promise made in-house. Okay. You're going to succeed Bill Belichick, 70-plus-year-old Belichick. I think that. So this guy, the youngest ever hired Patriot coach at 37 years old, okay? He was promised this job. My guess is Mayo was probably thinking that, okay, Bill's going to get Don Shula's record. We're 3 or 4 more years of this. I'll probably move into a coordinator position, then I'll take over. Things go south. I think that Robert Kraft, in the middle of all this, Pickles, thinks, I really don't want to hire this guy, but your Stephen A. Smiths, your ESPNs, your Skip Bayless, they're going to play that race card up to high heaven. So I really got to hire him. I got to hire him. So I think Mayo picks up on this, and he says it today. Now, mind you, average coach makes, I'm going to go low end. Head coach salary, I'm going to say 8 years, Pickles, $8 million a year, 5 years. That's 40 million. My guess is it's closer to 60. So today you got a check for anywhere from 40 to 60 million dollars, and this is the comments that he makes during the press conference when being asked about being the first black head coach. And you know, by the way, I like the way the media try to bait Todd Bowles. By the way, if Todd Bowles wins, I'm taking my hat off to him. Kudos to Todd Bowles. When I was doing research for that, I will explain that a little bit later. So listen to Jared Mayo as he tries to explain this. Okay. But I like some. First, let's go to the Robert Kraft side of it. So Robert Kraft, it was asked about him. Robert, hey, look, hey, man, I'm colorblind. We're trying to win games. That's what you're always supposed to say. You don't want to divide your fan base. You don't want to divide your locker room. It's the truth. It's the truth about the NFL. Best man up, best man wins. Okay, so here's Robert Kraft today when asked about this. Robert Kraft, everybody, I think. Yeah.
Question first, Robert. Gerard said that being the first black coach was important to him. Curious, what does it mean to you? If I could ask you, Gerard, have you reached out to any of the folks like, Tony and, Tomlin, just to get their sense of what it means to them? You want to start off? Look, yeah.
Have you reached out to Tony and Tomlin, Tony Dungy and Mike Tomlin? And Robert Kraft looked at him like, is it? Well, we're just trying to win games, man. We're past that. You know we're past that, but you're trying to get a soundbite on ESPN and go on social media. But Kraft was like, I like the way Kraft answered it. Listen up.
Let me say this to you. I'm really colorblind in terms of, I know what I feel like on Sunday when we lose. And I can just tell you that there's nothing after my family, my passion is with the New England Patriots. And there's something else very close second, but winning at the Patriots is my passion. So I want to get the best people I can get. I chose the best head coach for this organization.
Yeah, winning is everything. I'm paying this guy millions of dollars, folks. I'm paying him millions and millions. I've signed a contract, Pickles. Signed a contract 5 years with this young man, Mr. Mayo. We're about winning. Okay? I love that answer. So then listen to Mayo's comments. All right. Now, mind you, just got you're 37 years old. You've never been a coordinator. You're the youngest, regardless of race. Okay. The youngest coach that's ever coached the Patriots. Ever. And this is what you have to say after this? Listen up.
Yo, Mike T, he reached out. He's actually from our hometown back in Virginia as well. So we haven't really talked about the challenges. I appreciate, Thunder and the organization selecting me to be a black head coach. I would say what Thunder just talked about, that was in the locker room. You want your locker room to be pretty diverse, and you would want the world to look like that. What I will say, though, is I do see color, because I believe if you don't see color, you can't see racism. And whatever happens, black, white, disabled person, I've always, even someone with disabilities, I always,
You see how he tried to clean it up? Thank you. Appreciate it, Ethan. Okay. You see how he tried to clean it up, Pickles, at the end? Listen to this. Let's go back to lyrics. Listen to it.
Yo, Mike T, he reached out. He's actually from our hometown back in Virginia as well. So
okay, good to see you.
We haven't really talked about the challenges. I appreciate
Chad
Thunder and the organization selecting me to be a black head coach. I would say what Thunder just talked about, that was in the locker room. You want your locker room to be pretty diverse, and you would want the world to look like that. What I will say, though, is I do see color, because I believe if you don't see color, you can't see racism.
See, he knew he ticked off a lot of people when he said that. Okay, if you want everybody to see like your locker room's got 80% black guys in there. Okay, it's best man win. Best man win. That's the culture of the NFL. That's the culture of football. My dad used to tell me all the time. He said, "Let me tell you something, man. I don't care about coaches' sons, anything like that. When you get at the high school football level and higher, when you start winning and playing good, and I've watched it my whole life, 35 years. You don't care about that stuff because everybody loves a winner. Newt Rodney, listen up, more from Mayo.
Whatever.
Like I said, now watch Mayo try to clean it up. Then he says something really smart at the very end.
Whatever happens, black, white, disabled person. I've always, even someone with disabilities.
He's trying to clean it up now.
For the most part, people are like, when they're young, they kind of make the spot hot. Younger people know what that means. But what I would say is, no, I want you to be able to go up to those people and really understand those people. So it goes back to whatever it is, black, white, yellow, it really doesn't matter, but it does matter so we can try to fix the problem that we all know we have.
See, that little smart that comment at the end, let me play that again for you, Pickles.
No, I want you to be able to go up to those people and really
listen to the last few seconds here.
So it goes back to whatever it is, black, white, yellow, it really doesn't matter, but it does matter so we can try to fix the problem that we all know we have.
So we have a problem here, okay? I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of having that thrown in my face every time I turn on the TV and hear about somebody. You can't criticize Lamar Jackson. You have to hire this coach because he's black. How about you just hire the best coach? That little smart comment that problem that we know we have after you've never been a coordinator. You're a defensive-minded head coach. You're coming from a defensive mind. Traditionally, teams hire the opposite, Chad. They hire the opposite. Bill Belichick's defensive background, okay? Their offense was horrendous. 25th, 28th, 30th in the league. Down there at the bottom. They're just coming out of a season in the franchise history, the last few seasons, in franchise history where you had a head coach in Bill Belichick. This is not Mayo's fault, but you had a head coach in Bill Belichick hire a defensive coordinator who's never been an offensive coordinator in his whole life and put him in as offensive coordinator and totally just run Mac Jones. Now, I think Mac Jones is a little bit entitled and all that stuff, but just run Mac Jones, basically. You know, so it's one of the worst offenses in the league. They couldn't score. So he was obligated in his mind because of people like Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark and Skip Bayless and all these race baiters and panderers, which I can't stand, you know. All these panderers and say, afraid they're going to call. So Pickles says he got sandbagged. Yeah. Had the audacity. And then this. Okay, so now you've got what are coming at. You got all the details here. All right. And this is how my conversation, after I sleep on it, Pickles, after I sleep on it, if I'm Robert Kraft, I'm a billionaire. I'm going to honor my contract. Okay. If it's 40 million, I don't care. I'm a billionaire. It's okay. Let's say it's 100 million. 100 million. It's not, but let's say we're doing hypotheticals here. So I go home tonight, talk to my wife. I'm thinking about what he said. You know, it's okay. So he insulted half our fan base, if not more, when he's with that comment. He insulted my colleagues, my fellow owners. Okay. There was a Mike Florio's talking about Brian Flores. Did such a great job, but he's getting no interviews for head coaching. Well, you point your finger in my face and call me racist every other day. Why am I going to pay you millions of dollars to head coach my team? Okay. So going back to Kraft. So I think about that and I say, I'll tell you what, press conference on what's tomorrow? Thursday, Pickles? Press conference Thursday. They've called this press conference today. I've had a talk with Jared. I told Jared I'm going to pay his contract in full, not one penny less. But he will not coach my football team. What? He will not coach my football. You will not insult me and my colleagues with fellow owners, 31 other colleagues. You will not insult half, if not 3/4 of this fan base by calling us races. And you will not insult this great country that gives you an opportunity to coach a child's game and make millions of dollars. Okay? And I don't give a bleep, a rat's rear end, what ESPN or the NFL's got to say about it. I'll hire and fire who I want to. I'm paying your contract out. I appreciate everything you did as an assistant and as a player, but you insulted me. You insulted my family. You insulted the NFL. You insulted our fan base. What do you expect me to say? Okay? You're not going to see this whole race baiting stuff. You said, why are you so mad about this stuff? It doesn't come off as a form of guilt or anything like that with me. It comes off as a form of intimidation, Pickles. This comes off as a form of bullying, which those of you that know me and grew up with me, I don't take kind to. I don't care where it comes from. A professor, somebody I went to school with, but that you're racist. You point your finger at me. You got 4 pointing back at you. You know, ESPN, Fox, Skip Bayless, Stephen, they're not Ian Rappaport, Mike Florio. I don't care what you say. This game unites people, okay? This game is about faith-based. It's about hard work. And like my dad used to tell me, the cream always rises to the top. It's never about who this person knows and that. It's always about the cream of rice. When you win, Newt Rockne said, former Notre Dame coach, died in an airplane crash. Everybody loves a winner. That was 70 years ago. Everybody loves a winner. This game was founded on hard work, determination. It brings blue-collar, hard-working people together. They're usually from the South, okay? It brings people from race, nationality, age. I talk to people 20, 30, 40 years older than me. I've talked to younger people, kids, you know? This game, and the people who try to destroy this game, the elites who try to, and they're usually from the Northeast. They're usually upper middle class. They usually have a certain ideology. They're usually politically vote a certain way, not calling them Democrat, but they usually do, okay? And they usually look down on the working class people that make up the fan base in the NFL. And I'm sick and tired of it, okay? They know exactly who they are. And I will not be intimidated by these people. That's a form of intimidation. You know, they point their finger at people and they call you what they are, prejudiced. You know, they're let me say this also. In life, and I was just talking to a good friend of mine, Corey, about this the other day. Black guy, for the record, all right? But see, I think we're still good friends because you know where you stand with me. But some of these people who the racial equity inclusion people, you really don't know where you stand with them because they're phonies. That's why, you know, they're phony balonies. They know it. We know it. They don't believe what they say. They're grandstanders. They're panderers. But what I was saying was, watching the Houston game, Pickles, last Saturday, the Texans and the Browns. And I was telling my good friend Corey, I said, listen, this guy calling that game sound like an intern. This is NBC. Remember, like Howard Stern would say, WNBC. WNBC. This is, and the guy was terrible, man. The guy calling the game. I thought to myself, is this a Make-A-Wish? Is this an intern day? This is a playoff game. So I looked it up, Googled it up, blah, 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 on my phone. And it said Noah Eagle. So I looked up and I said, Eagle, that name sounds familiar. Iron Eagle? Famous broadcaster Iron Eagle done everything. That was Iron Eagle's son. Born on third base. A lot of nepotism. A lot of nepotism in the NFL. Coaches, referees, you name it. Nepotism out the yang. And I was telling my friend, I said, I'm struggling getting this show off the ground, But I forgive myself because, listen, I was born on third base, but I still love what I do, And I ain't mad at him. That's life, man. You hire somebody that you know for a head coach. It doesn't mean because he wasn't black that you're racist. It means that you know the guy through another guy. But that's, nepotism. Not saying it's right, but I'm not a victim. And neither is Jerod Mayo. Jerod Mayo played 8 years in the NFL. He's worth millions. Now he's worth $40+ million more dollars. He's not a victim. And the audacity to say that when you're just giving you a job. I'm telling you, Chad Pickles, I'd fire him in the morning. And I'd break every headline. I said, listen, man, you don't insult me like that. We're putting a stop to that, okay? That's a form of bullying and intimidation. That is not a guilt trip. I'm so sick and tired of you people. No, that's a form of bullying and intimidation. Remember that song, We're Not Going to Take It Anymore? I wouldn't take it from anybody. I don't care what national I would not take that from anybody. You know, you got people, mayors, asking people to move people in their house because they have illegally entered this country, okay, and there's nowhere to put them in New York and Boston. And these people are brown and black. Why are people killing themselves to get in this country if this is such a effing racist country? Kiss my rear end, Jared Mayo. Kiss my rear end, ESPN. Stephen A. Smith. Skip Bayless. You see what I'm saying? I'm so sick and tired of that. That stupid woman with that short hair on MSNBC. F her too. I'm not going to curse on this show. I'll use my abbreviations, all right? I got to cool down, Pickles. I got to cool down, man. I got to get some water on that one. That little short hair, you know who I'm talking about. Pickles says Mayo won't last 2 years. See, he did a preemptive strike, Pickles. He knows deep down that and I should ask Keith about this. Like, Keith, this is between me and you. Did that tick you off? Did that tick you off? He called the Patriot Nation racist when this is supposed to be a unified sport, a beautiful sport, man. Yeah, he bought himself another year by playing that. And if I was Robert Kraft, I was a son, so listen, Dad, will you take that crap from him, man? I pay him his money. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I pay you money because I'm a good guy. I'm not you, you know? I'm not who the people who have brainwashed you to convince you that you're some kind of victim. And I've went over these numbers with you all before in this country. NFL players, the lowest end people, it's like $5 million. After taxes, I don't care if you're one of the worst tax states, it's California. Taxes, agent fees, you're still at $2.5 billion, okay? The average salary in this country for one person is $55,000 to $70,000. You add inflation, okay? That's for 1 year. So what I understand, 3 years, okay? You do the math on all this stuff, you basically got about 10 years pay of the average person for about 2 years. And I'm being very conservative. That's nowhere near what Mayo has made. I'm being very conservative. And this idea, what I like about Jason Whitlock, Mitch Albom, famous reporter, Pickles, out of Detroit, wrote a book about, he's another one of these panderers, He wrote a book about the Fab Five. He wrote a book about the Fab Five, Michigan basketball team, saying that, they made all this money. Poor Chris Webber, the victim Chris Webber. He's one of these panderers before it was really fashionable, which is now, right? We're talking early 90s, 91, 92. And, Jace Whitlock, black guy. Albom's one of these white guy panderers, like what I just described, the kind of people who said that people like me and you, Chad, are the problem with this country. The people that pay your freaking bills. We're the problem. So anyways, Albom says in his stupid book here he wrote in the early 90s that Chris Webber couldn't afford a hamburger at McDonald's. That he was just a victim. He's making all this money and Michigan selling all these jerseys. Jason Whitlock says, don't he realize that I live in this area and I cover this team? Whitlock, black guy, said, listen, he's driving a brand new SUV. I go over his apartment to play video games. He's living better than me. It's a big, fat mother effing lie. You're lying, Mitch Albom. Albom got ticked, but he got over it. Jet Whitlock said, you're lying, man. You're lying in your book. This guy living better than me. I write for Michigan. Yeah, Pickles, it's a lie. Whitlock's like, I'm playing Sega with this guy. They got plenty of food. He got a brand new SUV. What are you talking about, man? Don't say the same thing for Jalen Rose. He's got it too. Stop with the nonsense. You're not a victim, man. Jared Mayo, you just signed a multi-million-dollar contract. People kissing your rear ends. Don't give me this, oh, I'm still black. Oh, cut the nonsense. Just like Chris Rock said, cut it, man. Really? You know? So another reporter asked Todd Bowles the same nonsense. By the way, I love Todd Bowles for this. I forgot Todd Bowles said this. By the way, you know, if Detroit wasn't such a great story, go freaking Tampa, okay? I tell you what, the winner of Detroit-Tampa wins the Super Bowl. How about that? I got love for Dan Campbell, because I think he's authentic. I love what the city of Detroit, Jeremy's of the world, but I also love the way Todd Bowles answered this question. You know, from this reporter who try to tell him what to think. Listen to this, Pickles. Listen up, guys. Long drawn out. Now, Todd Bowles is also friends of Mike Tomlin. So who's right? Is it Jared Mayo or is it Todd Bowles? Listen up.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with him and your thoughts on Steve Wilks joining that fold.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just...
Yeah, like, what the heck you asking me some stupid question like this? More from Todd Bowles.
Know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big...
That's what Jared Mayo, a grateful Jared Mayo, should have said before he got brainwashed. Listen up.
Deal. As far as us coaching against each other, I think it's normal. Wilkes got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
But you also understand that representation matters.
That's how you answer that. That's what's great about sports, especially the NFL, football, basketball, team sports. More from Todd Bowles. And listen to this other lady, Pickles. Listen to her try to tell him what to think. Listen up.
Right, and that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, they grew up like them. That has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And
listen to this idiot woman, Pickles. Listen to her try to bait him. Try to tell him what to think. Listen up. Let me play it again.
We need to do a good job. Hopefully,
it's coming up just a second.
And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
But you also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when
you understand that representation matters. Who the heck are you to tell me what I understand, lady? I'm black, you're not. The audacity of these people, man. More from Todd Bowles.
Aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, they grew up like them. That has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
The first reporter really just asked Todd Bowles if him and Mike Tomlin have a relationship just because.
This is my man off of this guy off YouTube broke this down, and I want to make sure and give him his credence here. But he's breaking this down, and this is
because
interesting.
they're both black. And the second,
blacktop buckets. You know, I think that's the name of this guy from YouTube. I want to give him credit. That's where I got this bike from. But listen to him break this down.
reporter is lecturing him on representation and equity, telling him how he should feel because of the color of his skin. Basically, he can only have one opinion because his skin color says so. I'm sure Todd Bowles really appreciates having two white people tell him how he should feel based on the color of his skin. Instead of constantly bringing up race and telling people how they should feel, maybe we should just start treating everybody like human beings and start asking normal questions, because he's an NFL head coach just like everybody else, and you don't see white people getting harassed about their race and what opinion they should have. But let me know in the comments what you...
Yeah, good job, brother. Good job there. You know, and I just played all my black. Just tell them like that, man. You don't tell me how to think. You know. And I tell you what, man. I know why these people do it. I know the media does this for sensationalism and stuff. I know politicians do this for votes. I know there's a lot of black people they're opportunists that do this, race hustlers, whatever you want to call it. Sharpton. I know why they do it. You know, I'm against white people in the race. I mean, who's not? But also, this hustle, this scam has made its way through the Kaepernick and all that. It's made its way into the purity of this great game, team sports of football. And I tell you what, I'm not going to hear it. I'm not going to be silenced from it. It's probably stuff like what I just said. That's probably why I'm not on Facebook, because these people try to tell me how to think, you know, or tell my black friends that I'm the problem. He's a victim. I'm the oppressor. F you, you know, F you. Yeah, drama starters. Yeah, they want to start that drama because of their ideology and stuff. These people ain't sweat. These people that ask that, they go up here to these Ivy League schools. That I guarantee you, they're not blue collar people. They're not the heartbeat, the fan base. People laugh at people like, and I kid around sometimes with Jamie Paggs. But the truth of the matter is, people like Jamie Paggs, myself, Pickles, you know, Rich Ferris, those are the heartbeat of the fan, those 100 million that, maybe not 100, maybe 80, 60 to 80 million that watch the NFL every week. Blue collar people that work their rear ends off, who don't go around pointing fingers. And it's not just because you're college educated. No, it's your college indoctrination. I've got a degree myself. You know, I've lived in the four corners. I know when I'm being hustled. I know when I'm being hustled. Okay. And I know when I see a right and wrong, and I correct both of them. Okay. I call it out. I've dealt with people that are prejudiced and but I know this is us talking here. This is that racial equity, inclusion, all that nonsense. I wish I had that clip from Chris Rock. He said, "Man, cut the bleep, will you? Cut the bleep. It's me, man." Yeah. So you talking about it's diverse and equitable. Chris Rock's talking about his friend who got out of prison. It's like, dude, you got out of prison for manslaughter. What do you think? I got a wire or something? Wish I could find that. But, you know, I say all that. Things have never been in reality, not the media world, not Rachel. That's that lady's name, Rachel Maddow, not Joy Reid. And not in their world, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless's world, Mike Florio, not in people who all live in New York City, which I live. I know what these kind of phonies are. You know, I live right up there on Upper West Side, paid the ridiculous amount of money. I know that people are phony, baloney. Those people do not make up the hardcore fan base of the NFL. That they are not the blue collar people that make up this country either. But they feel like that they're you know. They turn people against each other. They mock the South. They mock people praying in front of the middle of the field. You know, they mock. They mock the unity. I'm telling you, they're elitists. Those people are not your friend, Jared Mayo. That's not the guy I knew at Tennessee. They got all that recommendation. But I tell you what, I'd fire him in the morning, Pickles. I'd fire him in the morning for that crap. You know, like I said earlier, you insult me. You insult this fan base. You insulted my colleagues. Okay? You want to take that nonsense? You want to go work for MSNBC? Go work for MSNBC. But you ain't going to work for the Crafts. You ain't going to work for me. Yeah. And Peacock and all that. Yeah, that's right, Pickles. That's right. I mean, the people that work for Peacock want to tell us how stupid and ignorant and racist we are. Well, they know where they can go. They know where they can go. You know? That's why I got to thinking about it. And I thought, no, man, I ain't gonna get nothing off Peacock, man. I ain't gonna buy nothing. I'll watch it on my phone. In other news, I did want to comment on a few other things that worked me up, man. Thank you, James Pickles. Listen, this kind of ties this in. Dusan Milojevic, this was the assistant coach today for the Warriors, died at 46, had a heart attack. They canceled the game. I'll say this. I'll tie this in here. You know, I might not ever make no money at this show. I've never made $100,000 in my life, folks. You know, I'm talking about multi-millionaires, generational talents. But let me tell you something. Tying it all in. Life is short. I do believe there's another side, faith-based and all that. But I also believe in chase happiness in this world. Work hard. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. And do what you really want to do. He had a great story there for a little while. He worked at some stupid company, Mayo did. And he realized his wife talked him into going back into coach because that's what he wanted to do. He seemed pretty happy. If he'd have left that other nonsense out, it'd have been fine. But my whole point is, chase what makes you happy in this world. Don't blame others. Don't play the victim. There's going to be people born on third base. There's going to be nepotism. Okay. Not everybody's out to get you. I've realized that. Not everybody's out to get me. I understand that general managers and stuff, they hire pretty women, pretty girl privilege. I understand that. But I'm not a victim. Okay. I'm not. Other words, do what you want to do in life. Chase the happiness, and success will find you. Okay. And this guy, I hate that about him. You know, he died of a heart attack today. Pickles, 46. I'm 42. He's 4 years older than me. You know, he's 4 years older than me. Warriors assistant dead. You know, also I did want to comment. That Mayo stuff got me so worked up. So I'm so sick and tired of hearing that crap that I kind of got thrown off about my normal topics that I talk. But stuff like this, I couldn't do it on the normal radio show. Maybe non-sports show. But a lot of people are sick and tired of hearing this crap, you know. But anyways, there was a trade in the NBA, and I wanted to talk about it. Okay. Man. Pascal Siakam was traded to the Pacers, to the Indiana Pacers. They're 23-17. They're a 6th seed right now. They're one of the better stories in the NBA. Nobody's really talking about it because we're still in the middle of the NFL playoffs. But Pascal Siakam was traded. What was it? Here, let me make sure. Okay. Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors was traded to the Pacers. He was their best player. He'd been talked about in trade talks. Raptors are rebuilding. They Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever his name is, Anthony Anunoby or whatever, he was traded to the Knicks. He was moved on to the Knicks. Now, Siakam, who'd been talked about for a couple of years now, He's got an expiring contract. He was traded to the Raptors. Now, the Raptors got Bruce Brown Jr., that name, that pretty good plug-in player around the league. Jordan Nwora, never heard of him, and Kyrie Lewis Jr., and a 2024 first-round pick, 224 first-round picks, and a 26 first-round pick. And the Pacers will get Pascal Siakam to place with this Tyrese Halliburton, who's really jumped up on the scene. So I think Rick Carlisle still coaches him, if I'm not mistaken, Pickles. That's an interesting team. Them and the Oklahoma City Thunder, we can kind of see the Thunder coming. We can kind of see that coming. You all know I love that general manager for the Thunder, Chet Holmgren, and all that. Of course, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We knew they were coming. I didn't think they would be good this fast because they're so young. I knew SGA was good, but I didn't think Chet Holmgren would be able to fit in. He's only in his second year. And remember, he got hurt last year. But they're like a 2 seed in the West. And this Pacer team, led by Tyrese Halliburton, with Siakam, Miles Turner, Pickles, Buddy Hield, TJ McConnell. This is a pretty good team. Isaiah Jackson and Obi Toppin. I think that's the guy that used to play with I think he played with the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. So Indiana's going to be pretty good. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate it. Now Celtics up 30 on the Spurs. Celtics, they're the cream of the crop. They're the cream. So that's a big thing around sports right now. A lot of ownership taking chances on young guys. 32, 33-year-old Mazzulla coaching there now. Of course, they've hired a Sam Cassell there. And, of course, they've got whatchamacallit there that used to be with the Knicks. I can't remember his name now. But the Celtics, we knew they were coming. They're going to be judged on what they do in the playoffs. Basically, after what they've done, after Kristaps Porzingis, adding Porzingis to that team, it's win the championship or bust for them. Win the championship or bust for the like I said, that was the same expectation when the Rams traded for Stafford. When the Rams traded for Matt Stafford there, of course he did. He won when who was it in 04? They got Terry Francona. When they hired Francona, when the 03 Boston Red Sox, when they lost the ALCS to the Yankees, fired the manager, forgot the manager's name, and brought in Terry Francona. The only one thing, win the World Series. And, of course, we know what happened in 04. They end up coming back 03 to the Yankees and winning. So that's the expectation for the Celtics. But listen, I like to see teams pop up out of nowhere. Pickle says Siakam is a 2010 guy. Very consistent player, young, hungry, good basketball town, Indianapolis. That's where Jason Whitlock's from. He's from the Indianapolis area. So, can't wait to see how this team gels the way as we come up on the All-Star break here, And by the way, I want to make a quick announcement here. I'm having a little, we've had our problems. Facebook shut me down, and maybe I can get back on, maybe I won't. But next month, folks, I'll have Jeffrey Deskovic back on the week of the Super Bowl, and he will be on Wednesday. He wrote this Wednesday, the 7th of February. That's the week of the Super Bowl. I think the Super Bowl's on the 11th that week. Pretty close to Valentine's Day. Love that. Wish they pushed it back even farther, but that's just me. So Jeffrey will be back on. He's wanting to talk about this article he wrote in Sports Illustrated a few years ago about escapism of sports talk and stuff. So again, sports is escapism, you know. But thank you, Olivia. Appreciate it. I got the friends and fam listening in tonight. Sports, like Olivia, you might watch romantic comedies, okay? Movies. And I like a lot of documentaries. I was watching been snowed in. Now I work today, but I've been snowed in on Monday and Tuesday this week between watching the football games, which the Buffalo Bills game got pushed back. Also, the Eagles game was on Monday night. Between watching that, I was watching the Nuremberg trials, which that was the trials of the war crimes by the Nazis in the 40s. Also, it was on the those crazy Nazi doctors that were doing inhumane experiments on prisoners and stuff with but you know, all that stuff is it's educational and stuff, movies. It's all some form of escapism, you know. Now, I like informative stuff like that. I love the read up on the World War II stuff and watch those documentaries. But also, I still have Tommy Boy I watch every now and then. I've recorded it months ago. It's funny as all get out. You don't want to be lectured on how racist you are in the movie. You don't want to have the finger pointed at you about how bad of a you are to the planet. In other words, you don't want to have some type of political message. You don't want to have some type of lecture, somebody pointing their finger. It's all a form of escapism, you know. And you say, well, that's what I believe in. That is true, Robert De Niro. But I also have the right to tell you to go F yourself too. Okay? For lack of a better word, I like to use the abbreviations because I try not to curse on here. Get Ted talk about Nuggets and 76ers. Yeah, the NBA is really heating up. You know, the 76ers beat them the other day. Nick Nurse is the coach there now. And Embiid, you know, the problem with Embiid is staying healthy. You know, I like Embiid. He's a grateful guy. I think he's originally from Africa. He's not bought into the nonsense that he's some kind of victim. And he's got a good personality, good sense of humor. My only issue is he's got to stay healthy. You know, you want to be looked at, and I think he's got the talent. You know, they fired Doc Rivers. They couldn't get past the first or second round. Blowing Mr. 3-1 lead blow with Doc Rivers. Now, although he did win with the Celtics there with Paul Pierce and that bunch. But they got Nick Nurse, who did win with Toronto a few years ago. His team's got a little stale, and he was fired from Toronto essentially. But you know, he did get the best of the Joker. He got the best of the Joker last year. But the problem is with Embiid is come April, May, every year, man, he's dealing with an injury. You know, he pushed himself hard last year, got the MVP. Doc Rivers talking about MVP. I'm like, man, why don't you talk about winning, man? Just win. How about this, Embiid? How about you get the finals MVP? Odds are you get that finals MVP, that means you're probably got the championship. I think only one person's got the finals MVP and didn't win. That was Jerry West back in the 70s, right? Pickles. Jerry West back in the 70s. So I like him. He's a good dude. I like the Joker. I like that coach there, Mike Malone there with Denver. I think Boston will beat Denver, but we don't know how Boston's going to react. I hope Sam Cassell being added on as an assistant there will help Boston. That was my pick, Boston over Denver. But I still like to see those surprise teams. I remember when Sam Presti is who I was thinking about. That's the great general manager who runs the Oklahoma City Thunder right in the middle of the country, you know. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant. I mean, just player after Enes Kanter, player after Reggie Jackson, you know, cycled them players through. Now he's got Chet Holmgren, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's coming strong here now. And they beat the Warriors the other day. So, anyways, got a little bit off topic today. Got a little heated, but I always feel better afterwards. You know, I feel great when I light up and really light into people. Again, summing up the show, like, hey, look, Jared. Actually, it is personal. I would say it's nothing. That is personal. Yeah, I'd fire him in the morning. And I'd go out and get me an offensive-minded head coach here for Boston. Tomorrow, we'll look into some of these. I think these divisional games are going to be great, folks. Green Bay and 49ers could be a good one. Kansas City, Buffalo, that's going to be a really good one. Going to play in Buffalo. Hope Buffalo's more healthy. Looks like they've got some injury problems. If all these players don't play defensively, I think Buffalo could be in trouble. And Kansas City could get to another AFC championship game. Texas, Baltimore's going to be way better than people think it's going to be. And Detroit and Tampa, love Todd Bowles from what he said. Love the Detroit story there. Detroit's a home, probably lean Detroit. Probably lean Detroit there, but I'll get into that. And, of course, Friday we'll have Carlos Mad New Yorker Chavez on the program, and we'll make predictions. By the way, just between us, I'm up 2 on Carlos. I'm up 2. I was right about the Bills beating the Steelers, and I was right about Kansas City beating Miami. Now, he was right about Houston knocking out Cleveland, but already had a 1-game lead on them. Just keep that between us. and Chad says, Cleveland's big up on Milwaukee. Yeah. Cleveland's very hot and cold. Donovan Mitchell, very ball-centric player. Bucks will be fine. They got to get their groove there. So, anyways, Carlos, Mad New Yorker, Chavez. Nah, he's a good dude. I appreciate all his help in coming on the program on Fridays. Folks, I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, here on Sports Scope. Please bear with me with the Facebook thing. Olivia, thank you for getting that squared away. Please share this show. If you could share it on my page, that would be great, if possible. Olivia, on my Facebook Sports Boat page. I'm locked out of Facebook while they're my appeal. If I ever get back, I don't know. I may try something different. I sure would like to have access to those 3,200, 3,300 friends I've got on there. But a lot of my main contacts, I can still get a hold of them. The Al Borges of the world, Mike Richmond, all my guys here, I could still get a hold of them. I may bring Al back on since he calls those Michigan games. So, but if you guys could please share my show on Facebook if they'll let you, or share it to your other social media if you're on the X app or whatnot. So, thank you for your support, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, here on Sports Scope.